In the DC world, I start with Ultraman's while this video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyright or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. You don't give up, I'm willing to serve you. Earth 2 Boom. The sonic boom tunnel came and went quickly. In the blink of an eye, Darkseid's oppression disappeared. At this time, Jerry suddenly came to Jello and asked, "Brother, did you see Brainiac just now?" "You mean Brainiac?" Jello frowned slightly, thinking of the black shadow that had just broken into the sonic boom tunnel, then nodded and said, "If I'm not mistaken, he should have gone to Apocalypse." Brainiac and Darkseid are looking up. Jerry was surprised. Hearing this, Jello shook his head and sighed, "I guess this may be Brainiac's goal. To be honest, I can't see through Brainiac's thoughts," and, before he finished speaking, Jello looked in Jerry's direction. It was true that Brainiac and Steppenwolf had withdrawn from the battlefield, but the demon-like Superman was like a tireless fighting machine, still fighting with Jerry. Facing the demon-like Superman, the battle-crazed Jerry risked his life. In order to get a chance to win, Jerry even exposed an important flaw to the demon-like Superman in exchange for a chance to kill the enemy. Boom. The fist of the demon-like Superman hit Jerry first, and with one punch, Jerry's armor was destroyed like a dead tree and rotten wood, and biological tissue and mechanical armor were scattered everywhere. Enduring the severe pain in his body, Jerry's right arm blade also pierced the heart of the demon-like Superman and pierced it directly. Not good. Looking at the scene of both sides being injured, Jello didn't care about his own loss, flew forward, and supported the seriously injured Jerry. "Wake up, the one who can't die the most here is you. If you die, the survivors of this world will be desperate." Jello called on Jerry's will while treating Jerry. The more he treated Jerry, the more difficult it felt for Jello. The punch of the demon-like Superman just now directly shattered all of Jerry's internal organs. It can be said that what Jello was holding in his hand was just an empty shell, a broken model. But under Zero's healing ability, Jello was being forcibly repaired by Zero with glue. But Zero himself was also damaged a lot, and the probability of saving Jello was very small. At this time, Jello saw a horrifying scene. I saw that the demon-like Superman with a sword stuck in his chest actually walked towards the three people. As the only person with fighting ability on the field, Jello immediately blocked in front of the two, wanting to seek a glimmer of life for them. But the demon-like Superman said, "It's okay, friend, I'm here to make up for my mistakes." In the previous battle, the demon-like Superman had never said a word, but now he suddenly spoke, and his tone was calm, and it seemed that he had no intention of killing. After that, the demon-like Superman bypassed Jello and walked straight towards Zero and Jello. In fact, in Brainiac's initial idea, the demon-like Superman should have stabbed Steppenwolf at a critical moment to create an opportunity for himself to perform in front of Darkseid. Unfortunately, Zero's power was too strong, so this plan was directly aborted. However, the restrictions that Brainiac had secretly lifted still existed. Jerry's sword was the last straw that broke Steppenwolf's control over the demon-like Superman. After regaining his sanity, the demon-like Superman knew how unforgivable he was. Although he did not do it voluntarily, he had done many things that were shameful to this planet. He dragged his limping steps and slowly walked to Jerry and Jello, and knelt down with a thump. "I didn't expect you to grow up so big, Jerry." The demon-like Superman, no, the EF-2 Superman looked at Jerry with a loving face. It had been several years since the drastic change, and the child who could only follow him had become the last hope of the EF, which made him very relieved. The young brother became the last hope of the EF, and he, as an older brother, became an accomplice of the villains. This brother was really incompetent. But fortunately, he had a chance to make up for his mistakes a little. "Your determination has surpassed mine. Now all you lack is strength. Jerry, protect the EF for me, a sinner. If you were awake, you would probably let me lead the Earth out of the predicament, but how can someone like me have the chance to atone for my sins? Only by dying bravely can I get a little comfort, Jerry." Earth 2 Superman put his hand on Jerry's chest, and the energy from his whole body flowed towards his palm. Looking at Earth 2 Superman whose muscles were beginning to shrink, Jello immediately understood what he was going to do, so he withdrew his hands and let Earth 2 Superman do what he was going to do. If it were an ordinary Kryptonian, it would be highly unlikely that he could do something like energy transfer, but the person in front of Jello was a Superman. As we all know, Superman's ability has no upper limit. And in Earth 2 Superman, the special ability of energy transfer appeared. In Jello's perception, Jerry's body was gradually recovering, and his new body was even stronger than before. When he fully accepted this gift, he would become a true red Superman. It's good that he has a friend like you. The Earth 2 Superman looked at Jello and Jerry and said something, then turned into smoke and disappeared between heaven and earth. There was no answer. Jello and Jerry just stayed by Jerry's side and waited until he woke up. He's gone. Jerry closed his eyes, his chest rose and fell slightly, his nose twitched slightly, and then he opened his eyes and said angrily, "Apocalypse." If it weren't for Apocalypse, none of this would have happened. The Earth would not have become what it is now, his friends would not have died, and his beloved brother would not have left him. Even if all this was settled, the anger in Jerry's heart had never subsided, and even burned more fiercely. This was an extremely fierce flame, and if you wanted to extinguish it, you could only wait until the enemy died or the flame itself burned out. Feeling Jerry's anger up close, Jello thought that it was a good thing that this was Earth 2, and there was no Red Lantern Corps, otherwise even the leader of the Red Lantern Corps, Atrocitus, would have to give way to Jerry. After Jerry controlled his anger, he said to Jello, "Now, it's time for me to fulfill my promise. You can take all the collections in Steppenwolf's treasure house at will." At the same time, in Apocalypse, in Darkseid's palace, the Supreme Dark King was accepting the kneeling and loyalty of an ant. Brainiac is willing to be loyal to the great Darkseid forever. Darkseid on the throne had a calm face, and no one knew what he was thinking. In the dark of the palace, Steppenwolf, whose half of his power clones were blown up, was watching a scene with the warlock Desad. Chapter talk about something. I have been in such a bad state recently. I went to the hospital for a detailed examination and found that I was in a state of depression plus persistent insomnia. I was very bad at everything I did. I wrote hundreds of words every day, but in the end I felt that the writing was not good, so I deleted it all. Maybe my mentality is not suitable for writing this book. Now I need to go to physical therapy for a period of time. After that, I will send out the follow-up outline to give Jello's story an ending. If the state is suitable, I will start a new book. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novel, as there you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter End Outline. After briefly resolving the incident on Earth 2, the three Zeros went to the Injustice universe to resolve the remaining matters. On the other hand, Darkseid of Apocalypse also targeted Kara of the Injustice universe, wanting to make her his subordinate, so he sent a large number of subordinates to capture Injustice Kara. However, all these actions were seen by another Zero, Isomorph Zero. Zero is an Isomorph from the Justice Lord's world of Earth 50. He holds the Ultraman Justice Fragment and the Dragon Fragment and has great power. For his own justice, Zero decided to go to the Injustice universe. In the end, Jerry, Jay, and Jerry formed the Ultra Alliance to kill Apocalypse, and finally came to Darkseid. In order to fight against Darkseid's clone, the Gauss Fragments and Justice Fragments on Zero and Zero resonated and summoned Regido. Darkseid's clone is naturally no match for Regido, and eventually lost to Regido. The book is set as 4 O's gathered Darkseid's body, single mysterious O's Darkseid's clone, and the remaining power of Darkseid's clone was absorbed by Brainiac. After this battle, Brainiac met a mysterious man, the Laughing Man holding the fragment of Grims, and the two hit it off, and Brainiac joined the Dark Knights. After resolving this matter, the 5 members of the Alliance returned to their respective universes. After Jello returned to the main universe with Xiao Kao, he found that many things had happened during this period. With the cooperation of the Illuminati, the Zeg of Ziyuan gradually invaded the Earth, but Vandal did not wait for Mongo to arrive, which made the Illuminati plan go wrong. At this time, the artificial giant plan of the Lighthouse Country was a huge success, and 50 artificial giants of 50 meters and 10,000 tons were created. Due to the lack of correct mental control power, coupled with Jello's instigation, these giants finally lost control and ran away in the space orbit of the Earth. Zero and the Justice League were about to destroy these artificial giants, but found themselves temporarily trapped by the Illuminati, so the important task of saving the Earth was handed over to the Fazeg. The Fazeg came for peace on the surface, but in fact they brought a large number of warships. These artificial giants were quite powerful. In order to defeat them, the Fazeg had to expose all their forces. But at this time, the War World appeared in the solar system and attacked the Fazeg and the artificial giants together. Just when Vandal thought it was Mongo, Zero's former subordinate appeared in front of everyone. When an alien on the war world said that he was here to repay his gratitude and asked Zero to go back to be their king, Vandal felt that something that originally belonged to him was taken away, and he immediately resented Zero. At this time, Oa said that he could merge with the war world and transform the war world into an existence similar to the Kingdom of Light. So, Oa merged with the war world, and the Star of Light was born. After that, Zero was also ready to drive the Star of Light to other parts of the universe to develop his Ultra Guard. However, Cerebro and Jello, who were lurking in the Shoji Club, colluded with Apocalypse and created the complete form of Hyper Zeton. In order to contain the other forces of the Justice League, Apocalypse also found the Kryptonian weapon, Doomsday. So, Zero plus Superman vs Hyper Zeton plus Doomsday, but during the battle, Doomsday turned into a spore and entered Superman's body, turning Superman into Doomsday Superman. The situation suddenly turned down, and it was very difficult for Zero to fight two powerful enemies alone, but at the critical moment, he awakened part of the true power of Miracle, set to make everything impossible possible. Under the power of Miracle, the 6 Ultra Brothers appeared and cooperated with Zero to use the Cosmic Miracle Ray to kill Hyper Zeton. After killing Hyper Zeton, Zero continued to fight against Doomsday Superman. Doomsday Superman was so powerful that Zero could hardly resist him. He could only burst out the power of miracles at the last moment to expel Doomsday Superman from this timeline. Later, all Doomsday Spore-related settings were annihilated, and no one in the entire multiverse remembered Doomsday Superman, which was truly impossible. After solving the crisis of Doomsday Superman, Jello appeared in front of Zero and confessed that he had read the Book of Destiny and told him that he should have died in Zero's hands. Jello thought that Zero was vulnerable after the continuous battles, but he didn't expect that Shao appeared to block the fatal blow for Zero, and was then severely injured by Zero, who came to his senses. In this final battle, Jello kept switching Ultra Armor to replenish his energy, using the special moves of each Ultraman to suppress Jello, and finally awakened the shining prototype in the call of everyone who was looking forward to his return, killed Jello completely, and obtained the power of the Absolute People. Our Justice Judgment, ending O Soul Beyond. 10 years after our Justice Judgment, the Batman Who Laughs, Brainiac and the Dark Knights finally use Batman to open the door and invades the main world after several efforts. In exchange, the Batman Who Laughs tells Brainiac the secret of Paper Cheer, and Brainiac then goes to the Origin Wall and obtains powerful power from Paper Cheer. Zero did not take action in the past 10 years. He made a guide for the characteristics of each Dark Batman in his memory, and continued to collect end metals, and finally went to the World Forge to make the 10th metal, and Zero's subordinate Leo in the Star of Light also volunteered to become the World Dragon. The Dark Knights were all eliminated except the Batman Who Laughs, but Brainiac and Paper Cheer never disappeared. In order to fight against the supreme power, Paper Cheer forcibly modified the universe, letting all life know that they are always in danger, and thereby absorbing the power of crisis from all living beings to strengthen themselves. In order to fight against Paper Cheer, Zero and the Ultra Alliance walked in the distorted world, awakening the courage and hope of all living beings. With Zero's own miraculous power, the Shining Power, which is different from the Anti-Crisis power, was born. In the battle, Zero destroyed the setting of restart, and the DC universe will no longer restart. But when Paper Cheer and Brainiac were about to be defeated, the Laughing Bat, who possessed part of the quantum power, appeared and wanted to snatch the dark power. In the end, the Laughing Bat only got half of the dark power because the other half was taken away by Zero. At the end of the story, Zero combined the Shining Power and the Crisis Power into one, forming the Truth form to defeat the Laughing Bat, and went to the outside of the multiverse to meet the Supreme God. 20 years later, a cafe appeared in a corner of the metropolis that has developed rapidly into a future city. The owners are Zero and Donna, and the main line is over. Book announcement: the first chapter of the new book has been released. It is a story about a scientific research protagonist and various robots in the Ultraman world. There is no female protagonist, there is no need for love in scientific research. It is called Ultra Super Pilot. The first world is Mebius, and he will go to other Ultraman worlds in the future. The extra stories will go to other special effects worlds. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.